What's good, everybody? It's Batman, and today we're going to be doing a reaction video to another video of Dagonite, and this is one of his GOATED videos. Just a spoiler real quick. I've heard a lot of positive light about this. I heard it was a great video, and Dagonite was doing nothing but spitting facts. So we're going to be checking this video out, and then most importantly, I have even seen this video from the past. I remember it being a really good video, and in the direction it was kind of going for like the line of scaling and everything. I don't really remember anything about it because it's been so long, but I do remember like one brief thing about it, and it's actually really funny. It's really hilarious, especially when you talk about the whole concept or topic of Kakuzu versus pain. I mean, if anything, this is legitimately the main argument, if anything. And this is like, just trust me, the way he approaches it and explains, you guys will see what I'm talking about. But we're going to react to this video this way. It is finally on my YouTube channel, and it finally gives this man some positive light for a change, you know? Because I'm going to be real with you, with some reactions I've done before, with the most recent ones he's been doing lately, it's been kind of rough. He's also been getting a lot of negativity lately, because everybody is, as well has been on that bandwagon, and like, bro, like, are you good, Dagonite? Like, are you just trolling, or what's going on? You know what I mean? So we're going to get some positive light from him instead. We'll react to this video and check it out, and then we'll just continue to move forward. There's going to be another video that we're going to be also reacting to. It's more of a Naruto analysis that he did regarding the character Obito, so that'd be pretty cool to do. And it was a topic that I actually was going to be doing a video on myself, because nobody has really done the topic, at least to my knowledge, or I've never ever seen it being discussed on YouTube. And so it's going to be really cool, and I had even like DM discussions with Jay the Great and Shinobi as well about it, so like I was ready in motion to be doing this with them, but fortunately Dagonite beat me to the punch of doing that too, so, but it is what it is. So we're going to check them out, and hope you guys enjoy. Let's get it.
The Naruto community for a while now, for reasons that are beyond me. So today I decided to just end this asinine discussion once and for all, and this is the only right way of analyzing this fight. Anything else is gonna be wrong. But before we get to the truth, please subscribe to this channel and like this video if you enjoy my content. Okay, let's get to Kakuzu versus Pain, but not actually Pain, you know, 6 Paths of Pain. No, we're gonna do Kakuzu versus the Animal Path by itself, because the 6 paths together is just
and there you go, right there and then, like, he just says it right there, bro. You don't even got to be talking about all 6 paths of pains to fight Kakuzu. Just the summoning alone would be able to beat his ass, bro. Okay, the summoning path alone. Okay, that's what it was. That was the only thing I remembered about this video. I just didn't remember anything else, you know. And he's spitting on that. He spit absolute facts. Just this man alone will be able to beat his ass.
Ridiculous question. The Animal Path is a very powerful path of pain capable of summoning several different summonings that all have different powers. Kakuzu is an Akatsuki member that has 5 hearts and is able to utilize all 5 nature transformations. How would Kakuzu do against the Animal Path? For starters, Kakuzu is extremely slow. He's the second slowest Akatsuki member, only faster than Hidan, and we can clearly see speed is not his strong suit, because he gets blitzed by beginning of Shippuden Naruto twice, while Naruto was holding a Rasen Shuriken that's really loud. You could hear that thing coming from 2 miles away, so there's no excuse for saying Kakuzu was caught off guard, because that's clearly not the case. And the Animal Path was relative to base Jiraiya. They were fighting pretty competitively, and Jiraiya was by no means blitzing the Animal Path. Base Jiraiya, who was just much faster than beginning of Shippuden Naruto. Shikamaru also dodges a blitz attempt by Kakuzu without even looking at Kakuzu. And Shikamaru is by no means a speedster, and he wasn't looking, and he doesn't have a Byakugan to see behind him, so Kakuzu is just very slow if Shikamaru was able to see him coming. Oh yeah, and by the way, in the war arc, Kakuzu was relative in speed to 2 Chunins, and he got one shot by Tenten. In terms of strength, Kakuzu's attacks are pretty strong for an average shinobi. They can punch pretty hard, but Kakashi was able to block them with...
He's showing nothing but anti-feats right now, just to get all this Kakuzu bullshit out the way and all the KCM nonsense, you know?
Without much trouble. After all, they're just basic elemental attacks. It's not as though having all 5 elements gonna put you in the God tier of the Naruto-verse, because you need much more than that. The Animal Path would be able to block the attacks with a Panda Shield, and also dodge them with his summons, and just by sheer speed. We can see that the animal path can also use the substitution jutsu, which can be very useful to avoid attacks. And finally...
Yeah, like, what's it called? He was able to react to Sage Mode Jiraiya's fastest ninjutsu attack. Fastest attack, bro. Like, this Path of Pain is no fucking joke. And his summonings are crazy strong to contest against the summoning toads and whatnot. We know what the toads are capable of fighting Biju threats, etc. Okay, like, his dog is probably arguably the most insane summoning as well. It's just infinite and immortal. And then the chameleon, you can't be detected or anything and completely catch you off guard and just immediately subdue you. He was able to subdue Casey of Naruto out of all people. So, like, overall, like, this summoning Path of Pain is just broken as fuck. You know what I mean? Like, and Kakuzu would just get absolutely obliterated. And for all the people that are already, like, the Kakuzu, you know, fans or tards, like, hey, this is bullshit. He was an Edo. He's way weaker. So just to shut that shit down, it's actually not a severe nerf. It's stated verbatim by Tobirama that they're actually revived close to their power as all the Edo Tenseis that are being summoned in the war, which is further proven along with the feats that those Edos are able to perform as well against arguably stronger characters during the war arc. So, you know, you have that as well. They are close to their original power, and close is a very strong word. It doesn't say, like, you know, far, you know, or in the middle, in between. No, it says fucking close, okay? So, overall, like, they're close to their original power. Yeah, this Kakuzu, with all 5 hearts and everything, is getting shitted on by 2 tuning, getting shitted on by 10-10 with the fucking 6-path tools as well. Okay, or at least his hearts were, not really Kakuzu, it was his heart things. So the fact that 10-10 can kill these things, and the tunings can also fuck up Kakuzu's raw durability, right? Okay, etc., and Kakuzu's over here struggling against Shikamaru, Kakashi, people on the same caliber as Asuma as well, and even Naruto with a small baby QB amp. That's just fucking pathetic. I'm sorry, it's fucking pathetic. And this Path of Pain would wash all these people up by himself, bare minimum. So
people usually like to say...
And this Path of Pain was able to fight against a Sonic opponent, aka Jiraiya, and, you know, there you go, to where Jiraiya was forced to go Sage Mode on one Path of Pain, remind you. So the fact that that is also the case, that it's a feat as well, meaning he blatantly scales to Sonic tier as well, etc. And that just goes to show you, like, Kakuzu would just get even more slammed because, once again, Kakuzu is nowhere near Sonic tier. He's Jonin tier, so...
Oh, Kakuzu has such a great defense. Nothing can punch through Kakuzu. Kakashi bypassed that pretty easily. Sure, lightning style is strong against earth style, but then Naruto bypassed it again with the Rasen Shuriken. And it's not as though Kakuzu can maintain that forever. After all, putting that defense up, the stone skin, it definitely spends chakra. So
what makes Michael's custom framing different than other retailers?
Kakuzu does not have an unlimited amount of defense to use.
Not only that, when he uses the diamond armor, especially if he has to apply it all over his body, he can't move. It's stated that he cannot move whatever he's applying it to. So for one, he's a sitting duck, like the Four Tails when it does the Biju Bomb. And 2, he can only spam that jutsu so much. You know, there's only so much chakra he has. And when it comes to an outlasting battle as well, even if you don't give, you know, the summonings people to go through that and damage them, whatever, etc., even though they also, you know, those summonings are strong enough to fight against the toads, but regardless, okay, you know, like, that's just what you're working with, so.
Who has way less chakra than Nagato, and that's not even funny because just look at what Nagato was capable of doing when he invaded the Leaf Village. He fought against the entire village, He blew up the village, he beat Sage Mode Naruto, he fought against the Nine Tails, he used Chibaku Tensei, and he still had chakra to keep fighting. The only real thing Kakuzu has above Nagato would be his experience, but that's not even gonna help him all too much because we're gonna get to how this fight is gonna play out. So Kakuzu will probably bust out all of his hearts and attempt to strike the animal path with his hearts using the elemental styles. The problem is that the animal path is very mobile. He can use first a bird that can let him fly. Kakuzu can't fly, and being able to fly is a massive advantage when your opponent can't. Massive. So the animal path
is... He can be invisible away from Kakuzu, he can fly, he can summon an immortal fucking summoning that can't die. Yeah, it's just so much you can fucking do. It's just not fair at all. And then most importantly as well, mind you, another bad thing about Kakuzu too is it technically takes time for him to be able to utilize his hearts as well. Like, it has to come out of his body and he grunts in pain, etc. And I mean, and the anime even emphasizes on that as well. So it's not like an instantaneous thing that he can do. And if Pain doesn't even allow him to do that, he's kind of fucked. In base, he's just shit. You know what I mean? His tentacle transformation is instant. That I'll give him. But when it comes to the mask coming out of his body to also be utilized as weapons and diversions, etc., that does take a little bit. So, you know, that's the thing. But even if he was to pull that off, or even if you thought it was also instantaneous, even though it's not, it still wouldn't do anything. Pain would just destroy and dominate. There's just nothing he can be able to do. He can counter in so many ways. And to be generous to Kakuzu, though, because I don't think he's going to bring this up, the Kakuzu puppets can fly, though. They can fly in the anime. In the manga, it's not like fully emphasized that they're flying, but in the anime, it clearly is showing them that they're flying. You know what I mean? So, just putting that out there, too. So, the whole flying thing's not the end of the world. They could be able to fly, whatever, do things, but it doesn't matter because, if anything, what Pain would do, which is what he did against even Jiraiya, he would just hide in the chameleon, keep spamming, summoning jutsu, you name it, whatever, and that's basically that. And then not only that, he has a bird summoning. Arguably, the bird could be able to fly as high as it wants, while the other puppets, we don't know really anything about them. They could potentially have limits to how far they could fly as well. We just don't really know anything. And as for a bird, we know what birds are fucking capable of doing, especially if they're enhanced with chakra. You know, so, and then not only that, to further make this even worse for Kakuzu, all the summonings have the link vision as well, the renegons. So if they're looking at a Kakuzu and everything you name it, or the puppets, they're not going to be getting hit by off-guard attacks. They can be able to maneuver, dodge accordingly, etc. And overall, there's just nothing Kakuzu can be able to do. I mean, he's just at an extreme disadvantage.
Simply gonna stay out of Kakuzu's reach for the entire battle, while Kakuzu's throwing attacks, missing everything, and then the animal path would just have to summon his multi-headed hound, and the fight is over. What is Kakuzu going to do against that hound? He doesn't have a single answer for it. Jiraiya was almost killed by that dog, and he only got rid of that because of hacks. Kakuzu doesn't have hacks. He only has elemental jutsus. Every time that hound is attacked by a regular attack, something that's not complete hacks, the dog gains an additional head and becomes stronger. We saw in the fight against Jiraiya, that dog had like 20 heads, and he can also split the heads apart.
And not only that, Jiraiya, like, if anything, I don't remember Jiraiya getting rid of it, actually. I remember, like, I would have to go back and see, but either way, he didn't kill the dog, and the summoning path could have just resummoned it. Like, the only way that has ever been shown for the dog to be dealt with is Amaterasu. That's it. It's the only thing. Nothing else has ever been shown to get rid of it. A Rising Shuriken from KCM Naruto couldn't even fucking do anything. That's just insane. Fucking insane. You know what I mean? So, and if it has a durability to withstand things like that, while Kakuzu can't do that, that means, you know, its attack potency, everything you name it, its power can be able to, you know, kind of give Kakuzu a run for his money and fuck him up too, especially if you're correlating, you know, science and everything and the laws of physics, you name it, etc., etc. But overall, like, you know, it's just not fair. And once again, you're talking about summoning threats that can fight against Bijus or have enough power to go toe-to-toe with the Toads that have the ability and power to fight against Biju. So it's just not fair. And Jiraiya was forced to go Sage mode. The only way you could deal with all of it, you know?
More hound bodies that just swarm Kakuzu, destroying his hearts, and eventually his chakra is gonna run out, and his defense is not gonna hold any longer, and the hound's gonna bite him, chew him, kill him, and the fight is done. I dare you to find a solution for Kakuzu when he is fighting that dog.
If he scales to KCM and his raw durability, he has greater durability than the live Madara, and most importantly, he can brawl Tail Beast and tank a Tail Beast bomb as well. That's why, Daigo Knight.
Nothing he can do. What is he gonna do? He's gonna use the fire style combined with his wind style to explode the dog? Oh, guess what? The dog gains a new head. And if you say, oh, if you punch hard enough, that dog's gonna die, that's not the case. We see in the war arc that KCM won Naruto.
Yep, glad he brought that up.
Eclipses Sage Mode Jiraiya completely in terms of power, landed a Rasen Shuriken straight on that hound, and the hound just shrugged that off and gained a new head. The Rasen Shuriken from the KCM1 Naruto didn't do anything against it, so if you're telling me that anything Kakuzu throws against that dog's gonna kill it, you're just not being genuine, okay?
No,
Kakuzu was
crazy.
Demolished by a much weaker Rasen Shuriken, used by a Naruto that was a complete beginner at the jutsu. Yamato stated himself that Naruto's Rasen Shuriken was just half done when he was fighting Kakuzu, and
At Papa John's, we start with better.
And the dog is thanking a Rasen Shuriken from KCM1 Naruto. Also, the animal path can use the chameleon to stay invisible and completely undetectable during the entire fight. He also has more summonings like the rhino, which punches really hard, the crab, and many other summonings as well. I don't have to go through the entire list because, to be honest, the hound by itself would be more than enough to beat Kakuzu. And if you're saying, oh, Kakuzu was able to fight the two tails and he won and he didn't get hurt by the two tails, guess what? 12-year-old
Jab and noodles.
fought the one tail and won the fight as well, so it's not as though beating a low-tier tail beast counts too much for your power level or whatever you want to call it. Oh, but Ni Yugito was relative to B in the war.
He's mocking noodles.
Clashed, and Ni was able to rip his scarf, and Kakuzu fought against him. First of all, there was just one small clash against B. It doesn't really determine the relative speed of a character. And don't forget that Edo Tensei Yugito was buffed by a Rinnegan and a Sharingan, which, if you know anything about Naruto, you should know that those are two extremely good amps, and Edo Tensei Ni Yugito is far more powerful than the version that fought against Kakuzu. We see Kakuzu was doing pretty well against Kakashi without Kakashi's MS, but honestly Kakashi wouldn't have done any better against the Pain Hound. The only thing Kakashi could have done differently was to use Kamui, and that probably would win if he was able to Kamui the Hound away to another dimension, but remember, Kamui is a hack, and that's the only way you can beat that Hound, or by destroying the animal path, which Kakuzu would simply not be able to do because the animal path could just fly above him, stay invisible, or simply dodge the attacks Kakuzu throws at him, or use the substitution jutsu as well. The only other instance of the Hound being defeated was against Itachi, who used an Amaterasu. And Amaterasu, guess what? It's a hack! And Kakuzu doesn't have anything remotely as powerful as that anyway, so there's no chance, man. Kakuzu is getting no diffed by the animal path. And anyone who says that Kakuzu has a 0.0001% chance of fighting against the 6 paths of pain, I want to know what you're drinking, because that's probably good stuff. Let me know. Watch this other video right here for another entertaining piece of content. Subscribe to this channel, like this video if you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching. Naruto Uzumaki and Hashirama Senju, two very famous and powerful Hokages, and two characters that are very similar in many regards. But what would happen if they fought? Well, this is the question we're going to be answering in this video. But before that, please subscribe to this channel and like this video if you enjoy content like this. So there are many different Naruto versions, and there are a handful of Hashirama versions, and we're going to be narrowing them down to the more interesting fights we can get from those versions. Hashirama has his alive prime form. The Hashirama that fought Madara, he had Sage Mode, he was very powerful. He also has the Edo Tensei form from the Chunin exams and the Edo Tensei form from the War Arc. And those are very different because the Chunin exams, Hashirama is very nerfed. He is very, very weak compared to anything we saw in Shippuden. But we're not going to be using the Edo Tensei forms here because it would be kind of unfair to Naruto. Many Naruto...
Okay, so we're over here going into a whole other fucking video. But yeah, so overall, guys, that's basically going to be it in a nutshell for the video. You know, at the end of the day, that's just what you're kind of working with, you know what I mean? Like, I don't really know what to tell you. And there's just nothing Kakuzu really has at the end of the day to really get him in any form or shape to pull off a W on Pain, on even the summoning path alone. Like, if I was to be extremely fucking generous, and I mean like extremely generous, maybe he can pull off an extreme or high diff W. That's a big fucking maybe, you know? If the path of pain is somehow, some way caught slipping, or somehow, some way Kakuzu can use that, you know, extra amount of experience or intellect that he has, because he's really smart as well. But Pain is also really smart too, or aka Nagato, you know what I mean? Like, so overall, like, it's like I said, it really doesn't look good when it comes to comparing Kakuzu to someone in the caliber like that area. Like, you're talking about the big boys, Pain, Itachi, and Obito, and they're just no fucking joke. It's just absolutely insane. So that's basically what you're working with. But that'll basically be it for this video, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, comment your thoughts down below. And as always, subscribe for more content. Subscribe to get on the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.